I can already tell. In the comments of this video, guys are going to say, I wish I knew women like that. All the women I know, they always try to take advantage. I've never seen a woman take accountability in her life, and all women just want to be saved by a guy. And it happens on every video I do. These comments are in here, and they're like, where are all the good women? There are no good women out there. They're all manipulative, terrible people. And I'm like, well, brother, I don't think that's the problem, because my woman's pretty fucking awesome, and all the men that go through my program, and they have women, they're pretty fucking awesome, and they're not having the problems that you're having. So the question is who's the common denominator here? Not all women are this way. I know this to be factually true because of the women that I have in my life. They're all calm, they're all peaceful, they all take accountability, they all apologize, they're all empathetic, they all give a shit about the men in their lives. And none of them would cheat. Why? Because they give a shit about the men in their lives. But at the same time, the men in their lives also take accountability. Most of these guys that I know have gone through the soul seducer system, but regardless of that, the problem is you. Yeah, you. You can't blame women for what's happening in your life. All you can do is look at your life and ask yourself, why am I the common denominator here? If I keep attracting the same woman over and over and over again, she has different hair, different eyes, different body, but if she acts exactly the fucking same, why is that? Why do you keep getting the same kind of woman? Why do you keep going through another divorce? Why do you keep getting manipulated? Why do you keep giving up all your power? If you can't accept that question, you might as well just not watch this video. I'm not talking to you. If you want to stay in that place, this video is not for fucking you. You can stay in that place and blame women and blame society and all the dating apps and all this other bullshit, or you can decide that you're going to be a different kind of guy and you're going to attract something different in your life. If you want to be that guy, stick around and watch this video. But if you want to be the other guy, I don't want you to watch this. Go somewhere else and watch some other guy's program who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Anyways, let's get going. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men, tens of thousands of men who've come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betrayed to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. You see, men don't attract the wrong women. They choose them. And they choose them for a few reasons, because they don't feel like they're valuable enough, usually because the men don't have a lot of options with women. And so what they end up doing is they ignore red flags. And they'll have these women who all their exes are narcissists, and that's the new thing now. I'm hearing this over and over and over again, where women will always call their husband a narcissist. It's like the easiest thing in the world to do. He's just a narcissist, he's emotionally abusive, how to get out of there. And all it's doing is just justifying the fact that she didn't want to make it work. Or it's also showing the fact that the guy just wasn't able to hold the container of the relationship in the masculine frame and really and he was getting manipulated all the time. That's really what this comes down to. And she's trying to run the narrative that he's manipulative when in fact she was. It's this game called projection. And so when she starts saying to all her exes are narcissists, just realize we're dealing with a manipulative person. And if she doesn't have accountability, in other words, you try to call her out on something, she takes no accountability, and you're like, well, sort of escalate, and I just want to keep the peace. Well, there you go. Now you have just allowed her to manipulate you, and again, you tolerate, you encourage, and now you just set the standard for this relationship already, right out of the gate. First date, she said something, you tried to challenge her on it, she got all upset at you, and you said, okay, fine, whatever. There you go. You just set a contract with her. Now you've destined this relationship to fail because you couldn't stand up for yourself. Or you tried to stand up for yourself and you did it in this way where you got defensive and emotional and angry, and you didn't show that you were actually solid and stable and that it didn't matter what she said. You have boundaries. You don't really need her in your life. And so she sees that she can completely control you. Maybe she loves drama and chaos and you like peace, but because of all her drama and chaos is there, you start falling into her victim frame and you try to play this game of Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm going to go save this woman from all her problems. For whatever reason, her car keeps breaking down. Her baby daddy is always angry and giving her a hard time, and she can't hold down a job, and she's this waitress at this place. Nothing against waitresses, but for whatever reason, these guys, these top-performing guys, always seem to get with these waitresses because he likes to show her that he's more powerful and that he can save her from all her things, especially with money. Or maybe she just got overly attached to you way too fast and you just let it go. You're like, okay, well, this is awesome. She's giving me all this attention. She's loving the hell out of me. She's loving me like no woman ever has. We're having sex 3 times a day. She's giving me gifts. She's telling me how awesome I am. She's touching me in public all the time, just all over me. I've never had this kind of attention from a woman before, and she wanted to move fast. I was like, of course we're going to move fast. You're like my soulmate. You're everything I ever wanted. And he didn't realize she was playing rope-a-dope, where she's love bombing him to get him super emotionally hooked with sex and attention and gifts and stuff like that, so that when she later on, when she felt like you were on the hook, she felt safe enough to then run the real game, which is I want to control this guy. And so this happens so many times with men that they just can't hold their own power, and they get wrapped up in these women who give them attention. And there's a few reasons for this, and if this is happening to you, we're going to get into those right now. The first one is the guy doesn't value himself. In other words, he believes she's the best he can get. And so most of these guys don't have a plethora of women that are giving him attention. He might have one woman here or there, and most of the time he's chasing after women trying to get attention because he hasn't found his own self-value, he hasn't found his own self-worth, and he doesn't own who he is. And so he can't come across with unapologetically. He just can't. And so he's super insecure in himself, and so he's like, well, this is the best that I can get, so this is what I have to deal with. This is obviously what I have to deal with because I don't know any better. He might say, I don't really want to start over. So if you're married to this woman for a long time, you're like, I don't want to start over again with somebody else. I've got so much invested in this relationship. And it's like a bad stock, man. Like you keep putting money into a bad stock, it's just going to keep losing money. We call that a sunk cost. It is what it is. You have to move on. Like you're not going to fix this. And the thing is guys get wrapped up in this thing of like, especially top performing guys like entrepreneurs, they're really good at just powering through even the hardest things to make the business work, even if it kills them, that they apply that to their marriage. And like, I'm going to make this work even if it kills me. And he's like, I'm going to do more for her. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to do it. And these women leverage this performance-based mindset that the guy has. If I can just perform more, she'll have to love me. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. In fact, you holding the standard that, hey, I need to be loved in this way is the way it needs to go. So if he gets manipulated all the time, she's going to leverage this. She's going to see that you're a producer, and she's going to leverage guilt, shame, manipulation to get you to produce for her. Or maybe the guy says, maybe I can fix her. She's awesome. She's got a good heart, but she's all spins out of control. She's super insecure. You know, she's bipolar or she's got borderline or something. He's like, I can fix her. She's just a wounded person and she's got this trauma from her father. And if she's just loved enough, if I can just love her enough, she'll finally calm down. And we'll get back to that honeymoon phase that we were in 5, 50, 3,500 years ago. And we'll finally get to be at peace. The thing is that never fucking comes because he ends up enabling her. And so in that situation, he doesn't have a partner, he has a project. And so the thing about women is they are a reflection of our unconscious thinking. In other words, you attract what you are. So if you're really insecure, you're going to attract insecure women who need you to make them feel secure. And if you have no direction in life, no purpose, you're going to attract women who bring chaos. They're just going to bring whatever direction they have, and you're going to fall right into whatever that they want to do all the time. And if you're absolutely desperate for love because you don't think that you get it or you intrinsically deserve it, you're going to find women who will take advantage of that and use you and extract all kinds of resources from you, financially, emotionally, protection. She will just extract everything from you because she can see that you are so desperate for love that she can use that as a leverage to get what she wants from you. And so for you, attraction isn't just about looks. It's how you operate as a man. And typically, if you are unapologetically yourself, you can be really comfortable in your own skin and you have a take it or leave it attitude, you're willing to walk away at the first sign of a red flag or manipulation, you are already first demonstrating the first steps of becoming a higher value man. And so you attract who you are. And so what you tolerate, you encourage. So if you don't tolerate any of this stuff, these women can't be in your presence. Why? Because you call them out. You hold them accountable. You do not allow any kind of manipulation to happen in your life. You don't want a project, you want a partner. And so you start dating women who are at your level. Typically, your socioeconomic station is a good indicator of the level that you should be dating. Why? Because if you don't, you're going to be Captain Save-A-Ho. You're going to keep saving all these women, and they're all going to latch onto you for your resources and security and safety, and not actually you. We call this a gold digger. And a lot of women will do this even if they don't mean to be because, well, they need that sense of safety. Women are craving safety so much that they will go after a guy that's not a good match for them just for the financial safety. And so if you want to really start attracting higher value women, you have to, one, you got to have some standards. Have some standards of what you want. Two, you have to have emotional resiliency. In other words, you can't get caught up in all this woman's stuff. You can't fall into her victim frame. And three, you got to have some sort of a compelling vision or purpose for your life. For most entrepreneurs or high-performing guys, they usually have some sense of purpose. The problem is the woman gets in the way of it. And you can't allow her to get in the way of it. And if you don't have a purpose, you have to start developing at least a compelling vision so that you're not going to just go off onto whatever she wants because you're afraid that she's going to leave you or you want to make her happy or you're trying to save her from herself. You have to have something that's making you happy, something that you're going towards, something that you're striving for, something that really lights you up and makes you want to fucking say yes to life. Because if you can't do that, what's going to happen is she's going to replace that. And then she's going to become your life. And then whenever your wife becomes your life, from her perspective, you literally have nothing else going on outside of her. Now she can see that she has some sort of power over you. And as soon as she sees that, she feels that she has some sort of power and control over you, this is when her attraction for you is going to start to wane. And the fourth reason is most likely you're attracting the wrong woman because you're overlooking the good ones. You see, when you're dealing with chaos, when you're dealing with manipulation, you get that normalized in you, and you think that this is normal. So you get this addiction to all this high emotional, whatever, the highs and lows, and the crazy sex, and the late nights, and the adventures that you go on with this woman in a honeymoon phase. So you get addicted to that. You're looking for that kind of crazy all the time. And we can see this over and over again. Well, guys keep attracting crazy. It's like, why do I keep attracting crazy? It's like, yeah, dude, because you keep overlooking the nice women who actually want to pay attention to you. And so he'll look at her as like boring, because that's not normal to him. He wants all this crazy excitement. But the problem is that crazy excitement is not crazy and excitement. It's trauma bonding. And so he's addicted to this game of trauma bonding where he doesn't feel that he's very valid to her, and he likes to have to chase after her, and she gives him this validation. And so he's chasing after this validation, and she gives it to him, makes him feel really good about himself. Then she cuts him down, and then he feels good about himself because he feels like he's accomplishing something. He's conquering the woman that can't be conquered. And that on him says, I'm an awesome dude. Look at what I can do. And then he gets into this drama-filled relationship, and he's like, I don't know what I can do. I got to keep saving her. I got to keep trying to fix this. I know I can do more. And she's wishy-washy and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, you just don't value yourself at all. You try to keep going with these women who don't value you. You want all this, you say you want peace, but you keep attracting chaos. It's like if you want to build something big in this world, you can't have a woman who has chaos. You need a woman who prioritizes peace, who prioritizes safety, who prioritizes commitment, devotion. And this kind of woman, if you hold your own standard, if you can stay strong in who you are, she will desire you intently. And so for most of these relationships, these women aren't even a good match. And so you want to look at a woman who's actually a good match to you. Is she emotionally stable? Does she have common interests with you? Does she have common values? Does she match what you like in the looks department? Can she actually roll with you at a high level? If you're a high-performing man, she needs to be able to roll with you at a high level. Can she actually bring more to the table than just somebody who gives you validation and approval? Because a woman who actually is a partner and not a project, this is what she does. So if you're serious about leveling up your relationships, you want to actually attract better women, higher quality women, start attracting all these women, these single moms who are that need you to save them and trying to just ingratiate themselves into your life because, well, you're there and you have resources, and you want to actually attract somebody who's a true partner and cultivate that relationship into soulmates, because soulmates are not found. They're created by men who know how to be powerful in themselves and know how to unapologetically express themselves with heart and humility. And if you want to learn how to do that, if your relationship is falling apart and you're trying to turn that shit around, Soul Seducer System, that's why it's called Soul Seducer, because we can soul seduce her. Anyways, brother, if you like this video, hit the like button so other guys can see it. And if you want to see more of these, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you want to be notified. And I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.